Hi folks, it's Bakgat time again. I'm Christopher and we are in studio at Wiltenjach Game and Hunt magazine. And today my guest all the way from Russia
with love to shooting sports
is Eugene. Eugene, thank you very much. Welcome.
Thank you, Christopher, for having me here. I'm very excited. I'm very impressed that you invited me and allowed me to come and participate in our today's discussion.
Well, you're more than welcome, Eugene. Folks, before we continue, thank you for watching. And remember, down below, click and subscribe, do all the yuppie stuff so that we can keep you informed. Eugene, tell me about yourself.
I was born and grown in Russia, in central region. It's a city called Kursk.
Yes.
There from like young ages I started to be interested with any kind of shooting events, and the majority of them it was clay pigeon shooting.
Mm-hmm.
It was like classic disciplines like skeet mostly and trap.
And Eugene, what about rifles and other disciplines?
By the time I was still living in Russia, we had very difficult situation with the process of obtaining and handling rifle law-wise, because it was very difficult to get a permission, and it was very challenging to get involved in that kind of sport. Now, those days, for the last 5 years especially, the rifle sports, they stepped forward in Russia.
Yes.
Because the laws was changed, and now big groups of initiatives involved in that. And yeah, for now it looks positively changing.
You know, quite contrary to what you're saying, you know, we in South Africa always had this, or at least I had this impression that in Russia, or those typical Eastern Bloc countries, you could own rifles and just do things. You know, I never thought, or I never knew that the regulations was that limited.
Yeah, by that time it was certain rules, like before you can apply for your rifle license,
yes,
you had to own at least 5 years, like a shotgun.
Oh, okay.
Not rifled,
yes,
barreled firearm.
So that's why clay shooting is so popular.
Yes,
because shotguns was accessible.
Yes.
Excellent. So Eugene, let's talk about Lipetsk clay targets.
Yeah, the factory was founded on 2001, and from that year of 2001, they took a long path by creating all the kind of the clay targets, and now I would say it's one of the leading in industry manufacturer and factories.
So Eugene, I've noticed you have a couple of samples here, but I know the range is very comprehensive, from middies, minis, right through to rockets, petit, etc., and then obviously the standard clays. But what I find interesting is that you guys have 6 or 7 different color schemes, right? And I suppose that these bright colors are for indoor shooting, something that we don't do in South Africa at all, simply because we don't have 4 months of the year, I suppose, snow and such bad weather. But when I look at this standard clay target, there's something very interesting. The way that it looks like on the inside. One would expect it to be black. Okay, so what is this all about?
I would say this is the next step in clay targets shooting production processes.
Mm.
I would call it's a new formula, which
Okay.
is brings a lot of consistency and performance to all the range of the products. That formula keeps your clay targets absolutely safe while you're transporting it, while it's a one box or a container.
Yes.
They're absolutely safe. But also the same formula gives a great performance while pellets reaching the target. It's making visible and obvious each single successful shot.
Well, folks, for those of you who are not avid clay target shooters and do not understand the complexities of clay targets, there are 13 elements regarding a clay target, a successful clay target. Now, this is a lifting surface, and then it creates drag, and there's stability and all sorts of issues. So this is a standard 110 millimeter clay for trap, double trap, trench, etc., etc. This is the kind of thing that's commonly used in South Africa by clubs and home shooters. But there's a lot of technical issues. Consistency of breakage is a big issue, especially here in South Africa, since we have such diverse weather conditions. If you take a normal clay, if you take it down to the coast, it starts absorbing moisture, and it becomes very tough to break it. So the breakage consistency becomes a problem. So it's either too brittle or it's too tough, etc. So breakage consistency is a very big issue. When you think about clay target shooting, you think about having a reasonable shotgun, reasonable quality ammunition, but we also sometimes forget that we need a reasonably good quality clay. So guys, this new formula, it really looks well insulated. The outer layer, the surface looks, you know, as if it's waterproof. So Eugene, like you say, new technology, future technology. I also see it says eco-friendly. I suppose this doesn't have any petroleum byproducts, etc.
Exactly. Those that range of products made 100% out of biodegradable ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely eco-friendly,
Mm-hmm.
and not gonna bring any questions.
Yes. And folks, that's a very important thing nowadays. If you're thinking about shooting ranges, most of our shooting ranges are out on farms. Usually it involves wetlands, etc., etc. And environmental issues is a big thing nowadays. So having a truly eco-friendly product, I presume or assume, is a major issue today at sport shooting clubs. So folks, from what I've seen from these clays, the overall consistency, the overall finish on these clays are actually very, very good. It's some of the best that I have seen. And you can check through them. And what that means is consistent flying, consistent flight paths, and consistent scoring.
Yes, this is actually a best product in the world currently. It's one of the most popular in Europe and one of the preferred and widely spread in Russia.
So Eugene, the products is available in South Africa now on a consistent basis. Is there ample stock? Lots of stock?
It's enough.
It's enough. Okay. And it's available where? From participating dealers? Is it available in shops?
Yes, the stock is available through the participating dealers.
Mm-hmm.
Also, dealers' inquiries and shooting clubs' inquiries are also welcome.
Excellent. So guys, there you have it. We are very fortunate to have Eugene and these products in South Africa. Eugene, your product certainly gets the Bakgat stamp of approval.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming in. It's well appreciated having you in studio. Best of luck with your business endeavors. We sincerely hope it goes well for you.
Thank you again, and I wish all the best for you and for all of your team. Thank you again for allowing me to visit you and to say what we've got now.
Well, folks, I'll tell you this much. This is what I'm using. This is what I'm shooting from now on. But before we get going,
I must not say that.
can I just say I like Boris Yeltsin? Or shall I say Putin? Am I going to get reported if I don't say Putin?